us, and I'm going to turn it over to our superintendent, Dr. Sean McDaniel.
Thank you, Crystal. Team OKCPS, good to see you all. Good to see you all. Thanks for being here with us today. Just real quickly, I want to thank all of our media partners for the support that you all give us. We know that we've got great things going on in our district, and it takes a collaboration with you to get our good stories out. So thank you for being here today. So what I want to do is just talk a little bit, present you with some information, and then there will be a time where our experts, our subject matter experts here, can maybe dig a little deeper into some of the detail that you are looking for. So it seems like not too long ago we were talking about, as we were dressed in graduation robes in May and we were saying goodbye for the summer to our seniors and their families, that we had this big, long summer to enjoy. And here we are 3 days away from kickoff. So let's talk a little bit about what that's going to look like. And we are extremely excited about this year, by the way. We're looking at right around 35,000 kids who will be walking through our halls in 60 different schools on Thursday. And so that 35,000 is a projected number. Today, we're at about 86% of that enrollment. So we're already over 30,000 kids that are enrolled and ready to go to school. So I say already because this time a year ago, we were about 2,500 kids behind. So we're outpacing last year, and we expect to reach our goal of right at 35,000 kids. That represents 3 years in a row of growth in our school district. So if you followed us for very long at all, you know that year after year for a long time we've been characterized as a declining enrollment district. And so for 3 years in a row now we've seen an increase in enrollment. So on the heels of that, let's talk about staffing real quickly. We still are, and Brad, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're at about 70 openings right now. So and I'm talking about classroom teachers. So we employ about 2,600 teachers, and we have 70 openings right now. And typically what you'll see from us is in areas of special education, science, math, maybe some early childhood K-3 positions. So if you're interested, Brad Herzier is our Chief Assistant Superintendent over HR, and we would love to talk to you about the openings that we have. So a lot of exciting things. I'm not going to get into every single thing and really drill down, but do want to talk about some things that we're really excited about. We talk about goals in Oklahoma City Public Schools. Our goals always center around our kids. We can't talk about goals or objectives or teaching and learning or anything that we do without really zooming in on our kids and how what we do impacts them. We have a vision statement. I'm not going to make you recite it right now, but we have a vision statement that really talks about two pieces. One is an adult responsibility. It's an obligation that we have to deliver a world-class education to every student that comes to our schools, to deliver a world-class education. So that's an adult action, and we take it very seriously. We think it's an obligation, not a hope, not a, man, if everything goes right. It's an obligation we have so that our kids can reach their potential. Potential is something we talk about all the time in life, and many times, for one reason or another, kids do not reach that potential. We believe here that it is our obligation to deliver an education so that they can. So everything revolves around that. In our district, we have several learning options. So, you know, we through the pandemic, we talked a lot about hybrids and face-to-face and remote learning. And we learned a lot of things through that pandemic. We did not waste that crisis. And so we came out of it, we believe, much stronger. We now have what we call our E3 program, which is a full online program that kids can enroll in and receive their education online. The really cool part about our E3 online learning program is that kids can still stay attached in many ways to their home school. So they can be in clubs, they can be after school activities. But the delivery is different. It's an online platform. And certainly we have our opportunities throughout the district to attend in person, and that's pre-K all the way through 12th grade at multiple sites. And so we're proud of the fact that we have adapted and adjusted to meet the needs of our scholars, of our learners. Safety and security is that thing that when we talk to our community of parents and caregivers, faculty and staff, it's the one thing that we commit to them as the most important thing that we do in this district, and that is take care of each other, take care of our kids, take care of our faculty and staff, take care of our visitors who come into the building. And so from a safety and security perspective, every year we review, we adjust, we add as needed, and we continue to create layers of safety and security for all of the Team OKCPS family. And so what you will see as we move through this year are those additional layers. We have an outstanding school resource officer / security team, where at every secondary school we have a school resource officer. We then divide up our elementary schools, and we make sure that we're keeping an eye on them as well. While not stationed in every elementary school, our response time is quick, and we continue to add layers at every school in the district. So one of the things that's exciting for us, we have a new digital platform where you can type in keywords. And so in short order, by typing in keywords into this digital program, we can determine whether there are kids out there who are being challenged. Maybe they feel like they're going to hurt themselves or hurt somebody else. And through a keyword search, we can begin narrowing down where those challenges are throughout the district, and in doing so, provide resources for those individuals that need it. So that's another layer that we're putting on. You'll hear about OpenGate, just another way to do scanning at our secondary schools, and that's in the works, coming soon. So lots of different layers of safety. I get asked frequently from all different stakeholders, is OKCPS a safe place to send my kids? And the answer is, I'll say it over and over, I'll even say it louder. It is a safe place to send your kids. We take care of kids in Oklahoma City Public Schools. In fact, for many, arguably most of our kids, it is the safest place for them to go throughout the day in one of our schools. We have adults who care about them. We have the most effective, best teachers on the planet. And that's what they do every day, is they watch out and take care of kids. And so, yes, it is a safe place to go. I want to make sure you hear that. Another goal we talk about is wellness. We talk about, are our kids well? Are they mentally healthy? Are they physically healthy? Do they get the nutrition that they need? And so when we think about how to take care of kids fundamentally, we know that we've got to address those things. It's very difficult for kids to do well academically if they're not well. And so you're going to see a relaunch of a program that has been in place for a number of years in our district called Embrace OKC. And it is our approach to partnering to take care of kids' mental health and wellness. It's a partnership with our entire community, even members outside of the community. And the express purpose is we want to make sure our kids are well so that they can do well academically. And so that's a foundational piece that we believe strongly in. And you'll see a relaunch of Embrace OKC this year. Got a question from one of you all in the media probably about a week ago. And the question was, we hear about poverty levels. And one of the ways we measure poverty is through the free and reduced lunch program. And so one of the questions I got was, how many of your kids eat a free lunch and how many of your kids eat a reduced lunch? And I thought that was a fair question. And in Oklahoma City Public Schools, all of our kids eat free. Okay, and that's breakfast and lunch every day. And so there is no reduced fee for any of our kids. Every student in our school district eats free breakfast and free lunch. Did I get that right? All right. And that's every day. So we're pleased to be able to do that as well. It goes into the wellness factor. If kids are eating, if kids are taken care of, if they're mentally healthy, physically healthy, we have a much better chance to move them along that academic continuum. which is another goal that we have. So we don't minimize this. I'm talking about academics last this morning. It's not because it's the least important necessarily. It's because we have other things that we focus on in the district. So when we talk about academics, we all know that it is an indicator of success. It is one indicator of success, the way we grow our kids academically, how they're achieving. Those are indicators of success. But there are so many other indicators of success that we like to talk about them and focus on them as well. But make no mistake, in this district, it is a very important goal of ours that we move kids along the academic continuum. So when we get our state test scores, have we got those, right? We can show that we are growing our kids in the classroom. We want to be able to do that. And we have lots of strategies that are very effective. We've got great leaders in schools. And of course, our teachers are bringing it every day so that we can see that progress, particularly in reading, literacy, math, because we know those are cornerstones of success for kids. And so right now we have a heavy, heavy focus on growth, because we know if we grow kids over time, we're going to reach that status that we're looking for, that achievement status. But we've got to focus on growth first. And so very pleased to be able to report that for a couple years in a row now, we are seeing some very encouraging growth with our kids on our state test scores. Are we where we need to be? We're not. We've got to do better, and we've got to accelerate, which we will do, but we are seeing some very encouraging growth in reading and math, almost across the board in our schools. So we're excited about that. A couple more things, and then we will open it up for questions. We made a decision, we've actually been talking about it for a couple of years, about uniforms. And so the easy thing for me to convey to you all, and for those who maybe are moving into the district, where do we stand? For elementary schools, it's business as usual. We will wear uniforms in our elementary schools. At the secondary site, we've moved to a dress code. And so what I would offer you is to stay in close contact with your teacher, with your school principal, and make sure you understand what it looks like. You can access all of this on our website, okcps.org. But I would encourage all of us to begin conversations at the school level. Make sure that we know what we're walking into. Make sure that we know where what the parameters are. Good morning. And we think it's a move in the right direction. And so we're anxious to move that along. Just while I'm thinking about it, you all heard that we made a shift with backpacks. And so this is a secondary school issue. And what we did is we gave discretion to the site leader. So by school, the leaders know their school, know their needs, know their sites better than anybody. So we gave discretion to the site leader on whether they were going to recommend, require, business as usual. And we're talking about moving to mesh or see-through backpacks. And really this is as much a logistics issue as anything, where, you know, if you've ever been to one of our secondary schools, our high schools in particular, in the mornings, as we're scanning kids into the building, we have lines that sometimes cause our kids to walk in as the bell's ringing or shortly after the bell because it takes so long to scan. So by going to mesh, transparent, much easier to scan, we can see it, we can move them through the line, we don't spend a lot of time with it. And so it was a logistics issue as much as anything else. Gosh, I could go on. You know, if you talk to any of us, we look forward to the first day of school almost kind of like when we were kids. You know, we're just big kids now, right? And there's a buzz. We welcome school leaders back. We welcome teachers back. And now we get to welcome kids back. And there's just a buzz. First day, first week, there's a buzz in the air. People happy to see one another. And it reminds us of when we went to school, and you never get too old for that. We love it. We're looking forward to it. We'll be in buildings. Oh gosh, for the first several days, we're going to live in buildings and just feel that energy and get to greet people and see our kids back at it. And I'll end my comments with this, just as a reminder to all of us. We have a belief in this district about relationships and how important relationships are. In fact, it's one of our core values, that we attend to relationships. And we send it right to the schoolhouse and that relationship between the teacher and the student. Being that most important relationship in this business. We all need to have relationships. We need to strengthen our relationships with one another, with our community. But the single most important relationship is that between the teacher and the student, and we get to do that again starting Thursday across this school district, and get to see all that magic that happens between those two. And then we get to surround them and support them. That's our role. No matter who we are in this room, we support that relationship, and that's important to us. And so we're excited about that. I'm going to stop there and open it up for questions. So if you have questions, if I can answer it, I will. But these folks are on call. I may pick somebody just for fun. Chuck, you ready?
You mentioned that keyword search for security. Is that new, and how does that work exactly?
Brad, do you want to talk about that?
Good morning, everyone. So we have a new system called OpenGate, which is a weapons detection system, and we've had scanning for years. This is just an enhanced layer to that, so students will be able to walk through with their backpacks, and if there is a weapon in the backpack, it will detect on that. It's similar technology that we use at the state fairgrounds. Thunder uses similar type of technology at their events, so that's what that is.
Talk about the keyword search.
Oh, the keyword search. Gaggle is a program that we have that if a student is on their device that we provide for them during the school day, or if they're logged into their Canvas account at home and they're typing in words that are concerning, maybe suicidal, that flags in a system that then alerts our security team. We can dispatch resources to their home 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So that's a system that we've had in place, and we continue to utilize it on a daily basis.
How long have you had that?
It's been several years, 4 or 5 years at least, but we find it very beneficial.
So what impact have you seen using that system?
Well, it gets us a heads up on situations that are potentially life-threatening for a student. We can provide resources. Oklahoma City Police can notify the parents. We can notify the school administration team so that they can have counselors come in and visit with those students. So.
Okay, I'll call on each of you by your outlet. Channel 25, do you have anything?
Brad, B-R-A-D, Herzer, H-E-R-Z-E-R, and he's our Assistant Superintendent over HR and Security. Safety. Security. Safety. Risk management.
My understanding about this whole backpack thing is on measures of just a thing, and while maybe I read that while metal detectors are being upgraded, is this going to be a temporary thing or a permanent
That's a great question. For right now, we want to implement it as one of the rules of the road, and so we will evaluate it in conjunction with OpenGate once it comes into play, and see if we need both of them. But right now, we're saying that it is one of the rules of the road, that if a principal says, in my school, we're going to go to transparent or mesh backpacks, then that's the way it's going to be until told otherwise. We really won't know the full extent of the need until we bring in OpenGate, which is this other program that Brad talked about.
Okay, Channel 9.
I believe you guys are upping training for emergency certified teachers to either work on their certification. Can you just talk about a little bit of the training, either emergency certified or new teachers?
Yeah, this is Brad Herzer.
Good morning again. So yes, we added 5 additional days to our emergency certified teachers contract to allow those teachers to provide additional training. We added 3 days at the beginning of the school year, so they actually reported back last Monday. And that was to try to provide more training for them on the first day, classroom management, lesson planning, instructional framework. Because obviously a lot of those teachers that are coming don't have that background. They've not had the schooling in educational pedagogy. So it was just an effort. We've had a great relationship with our union to allow us to add those 5 additional days to our emergency certified teachers. So it's just a way that we can try to provide more resources, more training to those teachers to better prepare them for day one.
Have you seen an increase in emergency certified teachers with the teacher shortage?
Actually, we've had a decrease this year. Part of that was last year we focused a lot of our attention through human resources and our principals. We made one-on-one visits with each individual teacher to set up kind of a plan of study. And we had approximately 25% of our emergency certified teachers last year make progress. And what that means is pass a test in order to become provisionally certified. Which is that first step to becoming a standard certified teacher. So we've actually had a decrease this year, and we look forward to continuing that decrease.
Okay, Channel 5.
Just one more question.
Yep.
Can you tell us about the telehealth program in partnership with children?
Telehealth. Yeah, we partnered last year. Health is, so my actual title, so I'll tell you, is Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, Safety, Security, Risk Management, and Health. You get all that? So health is another area that falls under me. Health, last year we piloted telehealth in the Douglas feeder pattern, which went well. We got kind of a slow start. It was really kind of second semester that we started. This year we are going to be rolling that out district-wide as we phase that in by feeder pattern. So by, I think, fall break, we'll have it in every elementary, middle school, and high school. There is a provider, OU Health, that has a physician that will, along with a nurse at the site or healthcare person at the site, be able to schedule telehealth visits for students.
Will it be a free option?
It is free. Yes, it is free for the students.
Okay, Channel 5.
You mentioned,
Hold on,
70
sorry. We're gonna
Oh, yeah,
give
I was
everybody a
Channel 5.
chance and then circle
So,
back.
okay,
Oh, you
yeah.
are, okay.
70 openings you mentioned for teachers early education, early childhood.
Yep.
Is that a new phenomenon we're seeing, or is it kind of a pattern every year for teachers?
It's actually on par or actually a little ahead of where we were last year. You know, it's teacher shortage is not a new phenomenon. It's relatively consistent over the last couple of years. It's gotten a little worse this year. We're 67 is really on par from where we were last year. We've recruited really hard all year. So I think that, you know, we'll continue to recruit and try to fill out every one of those vacancies. One of the things that we've done over the past couple of years, though, is we've had a little bit of a premium staffing because of our ESSER funding. So we've had lower class sizes than in a normal year. So that's helped kind of pad that number and pad really the number of vacancies that we've had. That's been due to that because we've had some premium staffing.
Okay, Channel 4.
Can you say and spell your name?
My name is Brad, B-R-A-D, Herzer, H-E-R-Z-E-R.
Okay. Oklahoman.
I was curious when you mentioned the relaunch of Embrace OKC. I didn't know that it had never gone away, maybe it hasn't, but I'm curious kind of what's the status of that program the last couple of years, and what is the relaunch?
No, that's good. It has never gone away. We have a great partnership with folks in our community to establish those resources for our kids. I think relaunch simply means, you know, like we do every initiative, every program, we reevaluate and we see how we can do better. So good, let's do great. And so what that might look like, Armisha, you wanna look at, oh, come on, let's go. Chuck?
Or Brad?
Or Brad. So yeah, talk about just relaunch and our focus on Embrace.
Sure.
Tell them who you are.
Chuck Tompkins, Tompkins, Executive Director of Student Support Services. Relaunch of Embrace, it hasn't gone anywhere. Embrace OKC is a partnership that we have United Way, the Oklahoma City Council, and the Oklahoma Department of Mental Health Services. So in our relaunch, we've done some realignment of our site-based mental health professionals that are in our schools. We've done an evaluation of all the programs that we have been using, and so we're continuing to ramp up the ones that are effective, and then again looking for alternatives for different projects that may not have been working up to par.
And which ones were effective that you found?
So we have Second Step at our elementary. Second Step is a social emotional learning program. It really brings out different things like self-awareness, how we treat others, how we treat self. And so that's been a great program. At the middle school, I'm going to look to Armisha. Botvan, yes, sorry. While the light's on me, I have to forget that. So Botvan is a program that talks about drug and alcohol awareness and how we utilize that and how we can help students prevent going down that road.
Okay. Did I miss anyone? We can go back to 25.
Yeah, how has telehealth been working?
How's it been working? Anybody want to address that? Brad, would you like to address it?
So, like I mentioned, telehealth rolled out back in the spring semester at the Douglas Feeder Pattern. There's challenges anytime you start a new program. I think just information getting to parents, making sure that there is a consent. Parents have to consent to treat their student while they're not physically there. So getting those consent forms back, getting parents familiar with it. I think, like I said, we did have success last year implementing it. And we saw students during the school day, allowed them not to be sent home. We were able to treat them right there on campus. We look for, as we continue to roll this out, that it's going to continue to expand and be successful. But yeah, there was limited success, like I said, but it was first year in those Douglas Feeder Patterns, so it was at MLK, Thelma Parks, FD Moon, and Douglas High School last year. But this year it will be in all of our schools by fall break.
Okay. Channel 9. Do you have anything? No? Channel 5.
Yeah, there are concerns at the state level about access or applications for federal competitive grants, which requires, obviously, the State Department of Education to also get involved. So where do those stand? Are those still on time for OKCPS, those competitive grants?
Yeah, as of now, and unless there's something I don't know, we're right on track. And so we appreciate the work that the State Department has done to get us what we needed to get our money posted. So we're on track.
How much money is that?
Shannon.
I can get back to you on that. I don't have the number off the top of my head.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can send me an email and we'll
Yeah.
you can get that number.
Bet you a better answer.
Okay. Channel 4.
I'm good.
Okay. Oklahoma. You're good. Anybody else? No. Okay. Well,
Well, thank you all for being here. We appreciate your coverage of OKCPS. We're ready to have a good year. All right.
thank you so much.
Good job, Brad.
MVP.
job, Brad.
MVP. MVP.